We're going to show you all the things you need to see and do in Central Park, as well as some of New York City's most iconic landmarks, from famous frozen hot chocolate to beautiful ponds, cable cars and the skylines, to well-known statues, as well as plenty of movie locations and some incredible museums. This video shows you how you can do it all in a day, so grab your comfortable shoes and let's get to it. So we started our day at the original Serendipity 3 in the Upper East Side, famous for its frozen hot chocolate, where they've sold over 30 million of them. It was made famous from the movie Serendipity. However, the quirky fun restaurant is full of surprises, from fun decor to delicious food. We always make a reservation as it does get pretty busy. We tried nachos and the frozen hot chocolate, and our top tip is make sure you share the frozen hot chocolate as it's massive. The first time we visited, we made the mistake of ordering 2 sweet items with the candy cane waffles and the s'mores hot chocolate, and we left in a sugar coma. The restaurant isn't the cheapest, but it's definitely worth visiting. It cost us $43 for both items. Now, if you walk out to the end of the street, the Roosevelt Island cable car is in front, and this is such an underrated experience. It's included in the standard metro ticket, or you can purchase a ticket right on site. Gives you incredible views over the East River and the Manhattan skyline. After, you'll walk past Bloomingdale's, one of New York City's most iconic department stores. It's great just to pop in to have a look around, and if you're a Friends fan, this is where Rachel worked. Now is time for Central Park, which is 3 blocks away from Bloomingdale's, and honestly, this park alone you could spend days exploring. However, with this route, we're going to show you how to see it all in a day. It's perfect for walking, but even more fun if you want to grab a bike. You'll find city bikes on the outside of the park. Watch out for those electronic bikes because they do charge per minute, as we found out from our $20 bill. So make sure you enter the park from 5th Avenue. So the first thing you see is the pond with the Gapstow Bridge in the distance. It's so calm and peaceful inside the park. It offers gorgeous photo opportunities. And if you're a Gossip Girl fan, this is where Blair Waldorf feeds the ducks. So during the winter months, you can skate on the famous Wollman ice rink with the city skyline behind you. It's got to be one of the coolest locations in the park. Even if you don't visit in the winter, this spot offers incredible photos of the New York City skyline. Next, we're passing the Chess and Checkers Centre, where you'll usually find locals deep in intense chess games. It's such a great place to stop and people watch. Follow the path and you'll come across the Central Park Carousel, which has been part of the park from different forms since the 1800s, and it's still working today. Do you fancy a ride? On the way to the mall, you'll pass by the Dairy Visitor Centre, which used to be an old dairy. Make sure you have a look inside, as everything you buy goes towards the conservation of the park. So we're now going on to the mall, one of Central Park's most recognisable walkways. It's been in so many movies, from Made in Manhattan to Home Alone 2, and even When Harry Met Sally. It's personally one of my favourite places in the park to walk. At the end of the mall, you will find Bethesda Terrace, one of the most beautiful spots in the entire park. When you step underneath the terrace, you'll experience all the detail of the tiles and the roof, and this is where Chuck and Blair got married in Gossip Girl. Through the other side of the terrace in Bethesda Fountain, probably the most famous fountain in Central Park. It's one of the most photographed locations. You would have seen it in movies, John Wick and Avengers. To the right of the lake, you will find Central Park's Boathouse. In the summer, you can rent and row boats. You get a completely different perspective of the park from the water. There's even a restaurant and cafe inside. If you're dining in the restaurant, ask for a window seat as it offers stunning views across the park. They're also open on Christmas Day, where we've enjoyed lunch previously and highly recommend it if you're looking for something special. Now, for a bit of fun, the model boat sailing lake is where people sail miniature boats, usually in the spring or summer months. Let's not forget, in front of the lake, you will find the statue of Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote some really famous books, from The Ugly Duckling to The Little Mermaid. And on the right of the lake, you'll find Alice in Wonderland statue, which is my favourite statue in the park, and it's a must-see. Now we're going to leave the park for a minute and head on to 5th Avenue, where we find the Metropolitan Museum of Art, also known as the Met, which is a stunning building and offers over 5,000 years of art. It's well known for being the steps of Blair Waldorf and her minions in Gossip Girl. So let's head back into the park and head over to Belvedere Castle, which is the second highest point in Central Park. Like most things in Central Park, it's completely free to explore and walk around the balconies and take in the gorgeous view of the lawn and the pond. Next is the American National History Museum, which you may have seen in the Night at Museum movie with Ben Stiller. However, it's so much more than that. This museum is massive, from animals, including dinosaurs, to different cultures and countries around the world, to planets and the solar system. You could easily spend a whole day in here. We spent about 2 hours and it cost $30 each to enter. We visited the exhibition End of the Age of Dinosaurs and found it really disappointing as it was pretty small and lacked a story. However, the rest of the museum was brilliant. So we're back in Central Park now, heading to the Bow Bridge, one of the most romantic and photographed spots in the park. From here you can see the New York City skyline right in front of you. Next up is Strawberry Fields, home of the famous Imagine Mosaic, which is a peaceful tribute to John Lennon. Now, if you're feeling hungry, Tavern on the Green, one of Central Park's most historic and well-known restaurants, is right here. In the summer, there's an outside bar where you can also enjoy views of the park. And our final stop of the day is Spook Central, where Lewis and Dana's apartment building is in Ghostbusters. Such a cool stop if you are a movie fan. So we haven't forgotten the New York Zoo, which you will also find in Central Park. However, we didn't have time to squeeze it into our day tour. So there you have it, a full day exploring Central Park and the Upper East Side of Manhattan. If you don't have time to do a full day, you could just do the lower part of Central Park up to the Boathouse and skip all the museums. That'll be half a day. Drop us a comment to let us know if there's anything in particular in New York you'd like us to cover in the upcoming videos so we make sure we get it included. We have so much more New York City content coming your way. We're going to be sharing parts of Manhattan from Times Square to the Empire State Building and Fifth Avenue, as well as the Statue of Liberty and Wall Street. So don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on those videos. We'll see you next time.